Previously on High Stakes Poker, Doyle showed Kim how to play ace-king.
I believe you, Doyle. I believe you. Want to show the bluff?
No, I'll let you wonder.
Chris Menon tripled up with aces,
Aces.
Wow.
Oh, baby.
then gave it all back.
I'm all in.
I call.
Cool.
The money they're playing for is real. It's their own money. It's coming right out of their pocket.
I'm all in.
$300,000 in cash with a 4 high.
Now the pot is almost $550,000. And we're now looking at the biggest pot in the history of high stakes poker.
I'm all in. These ladies ain't ladies unless they're your ladies. Got their hands on a monster, and that's what it takes. And you got what it takes, and you can play high stakes.
Same city, new group in our high stakes suite. AJ Benza along with Gabe Kaplan, a serious triple threat at our table tonight. Phil Ivey, Bryn Kenny, and Kid Poker, Daniel Negreanu.
And Bryn's bought his bicycle chain to wear around his neck.
And no high stakes game is complete without legend in his own right, Jean Robert Ballon. Is he putting wine in his coffee cup now? Before we get started, a quick look at the stack sizes brought to you by PokerGO. The minimum buy-in kicked up to $250K now, over $2 million on the table. Garrett Adelstein, the only player not in the $250,000 neighborhood.
I'm starting with 250.
And those jewels look very real. That's a very expensive bicycle chain he's wearing.
That's real. Crabs for Bryn Kenny raises to $3,000.
All right, people, you got $250 each on the table now. Let's have some action.
Call.
Tom Guan calls. And tens for Dwan.
Check.
Check.
Still watch the show.
Bryn takes a shot,
Anything this season because I'm waiting for my wife to come home.
hoping Juan doesn't have a 10 or an ace.
40, the all-winner season. I've seen all of them. Okay, yeah, the all-winner season. The last one that was a great one.
King for Dwan.
Two pair for Juan.
Rob's a buddy of mine too. I love him. He's like my
Another check.
I've never met him actually. Yeah, he's good.
Check.
Plays a lot of poker. Right?
Bryn says, oh, wait a
Did
minute.
a show with him.
This would have been the year for you to do it because you were available in the summer.
Oh yeah, the World Series.
Oh, did they ask you to do it, Daniel?
A while ago.
Really?
But it was then
It was during the World Series. That's why he.
Oh, really? Right.
1,000, hoping Bryn has some kind of an ace.
Because Daniel turned it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they want a poker player on the show. and
Right.
Daniel
Oh, this
turned
is
it
the
down.
best part. I gave JRB, knew I was a big fan of the show.
Right.
He came to me the night before he left. He's like, you got any tips? I gave him 3 tips, 3 specific tips.
Right.
On the very first episode, he broke all 3.
Right.
I said, 1, make sure the women really like you. They didn't. He was in that. I said, number 2, make sure you don't talk too loudly in open spaces. He's in the middle of the water yelling and screaming his plan. And then number 3, don't call nobody out. He calls this one guy out. He says, you kind of smart and shifty. That guy won the show, by the way. So it was a good read, but you should have kept it to yourself.
That is too funny.
And then he's like, no, I went a different strategy. I played the villain.
Jennifer says that's too funny and picks up a pair of aces.
Yeah.
That was my intended strategy. It did not work.
JRB calls.
Something else took over. I feel like that happens in poker a lot too with JRB. He's just
Ballon's got a 9 on the flop.
That could get him in a little trouble.
I was just told, like,
Check, check.
by production, like, the big reason why I got on.
JRB bets $5,000.
He picked up the low end of a
They just
straight
stopped me at a
draw.
bar one day, and once I told him I
Tilly raises to $15,000.
immediately interested.
Yeah.
And then throughout, like, finals, they continue to reference what a great character JRB was. Hopeful I would be similarly entertaining. But
JRB says, see you later.
Strategies was like, one of your strategies put a target on your head immediately.
Yeah.
When you told people like not to go talk.
of course, yeah.
Like, that's the show, bro. Like,
Right. You're making TV
people
show.
go off and chat. You're like,
That is
yeah,
so
nobody chat amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Just everyone, let's talk here openly. What are you crazy? Like that's gonna work on Survivor. They all looked at each other like this and were like, axe this guy.
He played the fish on there just to
He
get,
did.
just
Maybe
to
get action in poker. He played the fish on Survivor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were negative. after that move.
Joe's on the poker world.
Would you do
I
it?
won.
Would you do Survivor?
I thought about it before, but
yourself as Survivor.
I thought about it. It's like 40 days now. You know? It's no joke. It's not like, and you really don't get food and stuff. It's hard.
You really don't.
Like he was dying after 2 days. He couldn't eat because there's no food. He's eating grass leaves or whatever.
God.
Yeah, like
How long-
psychological, I was a mess. I was just eating every 2 hours.
Yeah.
How long were you on there for? A week?
6 days, yeah.
6 days.
Yeah, he did not plan well.
Right.
Or play well.
It was 6
Well,
days.
your brain
First
wasn't
one out.
working. How can your brain work?
JRB says,
First one out.
Second.
leave the wine, take the hand away.
But I did orchestrate the first vote off. So,
Oh, you think it's in the closet?
He just-
that's the end of that story.
yeah, you got rid of him, and then they're all like, "Yo, he's next."
The thing about Survivor,
They let you think you had a shot. You know, oh
we
yeah, we'll
can't
do
let
what you
him
want.
survive
Yeah.
till
Until some food comes around.
You tell all your friends, hey, you're not going to hear from me for a couple of months. I can't really tell you what I'm doing, but you
And then
know.
he's back for the weekend.
Hi.
Menon raises to 3,000.
The winner gets $1 million. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you already have poker success when you played, Garrett?
Adelstein 3 bets to 11,000.
Yeah, it was like
that changes the dynamic a bit.
it was like
He's hungry and wanted to
And
get
he
the hell out
got
of the
immediately back to his Survivor
It was
story.
not like public stream game stuff, you
Didn't
know.
they-
But yeah.
But I'm
Cut-
saying,
Yeah, but in general, yeah, no, like the.
He didn't need the money that
life
bad.
changing.
Chris coming along.
Do a good job of motivating you before you get out there because.
Nice flop for Adelstein.
Why is it a nice flop for Adelstein?
Well, I'm thinking deep. He could make a straight, you know.
That's right. He could catch a 5 and a 9, make a straight. He could catch a 4 and a 5, make a straight. He could catch a 9 and a 10, make a straight.
There you go.
He could catch 2 7s, make quads.
That'd be
It's
amazing.
an amazing
I
flop.
believe that those that make the merge like get something.
Okay.
It's like tiered per episode. You get a little, but I think it's $1 million for. It's supposed to be $1 million for first and 100,000 for second.
Yeah, and then after that, almost nothing. Like.
Yeah. But I think I got knocked out 8th place at the end of the day. I think I cashed out a total of 60,000 plus you get an extra 10,000 for going to the reunion show at the end.
That's not bad, and it's such a great experience, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Phil and I turned it
It was
on
a life experience.
to watch it. We saw one episode, and they were like, Jeremy, he sleeps all day. And you're like, I'm a nice
Yeah,
person. And then he made you look really lazy because he kept doing all these shots and you
no,
napping.
sure.
And then you woke up and you
They
started
even had
looking.
one with slobber drooling down my face.
They know how to cut it together to make you look however they want.
Yeah.
And then you started looking for the immunity idol that apparently had already been found and somebody was hiding it. And you were like, I know it's out here somewhere.
Yeah, my roommate, the guy in my tent, he
Right.
had it.
There's a bunch of on the
He
internet
actually
where it
ended up
shows,
with
like shots of him and me.
He's the only guy who ever
His
gets
is off in
both
the drooling
immunity
one, and mine's like in
titles.
some
And you didn't
douchey
make that
pose.
And he didn't win the
Just like
show.
two
I
major
didn't
losers.
make the read.
Well,
Poker
it's
players
really
have not
entertaining
done
to
well.
watch. I
Yeah.
think that was the episode that might have been the episode that you went out, so we didn't. I'm the big blind.
Are you allowed to give people the immunity thing?
Adelstein's going to raise to 3,000. Queen Jack of Diamonds.
These girls convinced him to give them the idol. And he said, just give me the idol.
JRB's in,
He's like,
pair of
"Okay."
fives.
And then they voted him out, like on the spot.
That's
It was like-
cruel.
Poor guy. He was a nice, like, surfer dude. He's like, all right.
And
here,
Tilly
if you're in
calls.
danger, I'll help you. But that happens sometimes,
That
too,
guy's
where you
watching
actually
the
play
show,
the idol
like,
for somebody
Daniel
else.
just called me a dummy.
So let's say
Aces
that
for Tilly.
You're like a
The
voting
fives.
for JRB, if you're sure of it, you'd give him the idol.
And he bets 4,000,
You could
and
play
Tilly
yourself,
calls.
Give it, play it for him, and then all the votes against him don't count. So whoever you guys vote.
Let's see how much JRB can tax Jennifer for.
The guy who got second this season did something like similarly just insane. Like just
Check.
Yeah,
And JRB is going to bet 15,000.
But anyway, thanks for bringing it up right away.
Yeah, it gets you tilted right off
I
the
know
bat.
any show I'm on with Jared.
Jennifer had no designs on raising.
Sure.
Well, I've been thinking. I don't know how you play poker, but I know I
King on the river.
Survivor strategy.
Of course, he's also, it seems to be a Survivor expert.
For sure.
Yeah, I love this show.
A lot of poker players are.
Are they really?
Like, yeah, there's a strategy to it. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I need to watch that show.
Yeah, a lot of poker players like do drafts and stuff.
I've been watching.
How much is JRB going to bet?
You know, in some spots, like what makes the most sense long term. Like,
That's cool. I should try.
Combinations
It's
stuff.
on
He ain't talking much right
where do you
now.
want to fit in? Do you want to be like the leader? No.
He bets 51,000.
You want to be controlling the game without anybody knowing?
Fairly strong bet. I mean, he knows Jennifer likes to call.
And likability matters because of the way that works at the end. Like decide who gets the money. So if you just screwed over 6 people really bad and they hate you, you can't win.
She's really thinking about, oh, she's releasing.
How's it work at the end? All the people.
He probably did bet a little too much. Like 30, 35, might have got that through.
Gentili, not the payoff wizard like she says she is.
Yes, payoff wizard, POW, or prisoner of war, right? Or peasants of wallpaper. You remember the peasants of wallpaper?
Of course. How can you forget? Great rock group. Well, if you love Survivor, that was a great segment. If you don't, well, we'll see if we can get them to change topics of conversation.
And here's our before and after picture.
Back in Las Vegas, not a remote island, watching 7 poker players try to survive a mix of pros and wrecks. And by the way, there's plenty of food available.
I just saw the Netflix special on Mimron. There's like a show talking about the Arnaud situation, Arnaud and Sammy. Yeah, on Netflix, all over it. You didn't know this?
No.
The only time I met the guy was through you.
There's a show on Arnaud?
Yeah. Talking about all the suspicious stuff around what happened. Arnaud and Sammy and all that.
Sammy who?
His partner, Sammy, that died. I got killed.
JRB raises to 3,000 with.
I probably will.
I don't know. I don't know. But it's on Netflix. Just came out like 3 weeks ago.
3,000 is cheap enough to bring Garrett and Daniel.
I think.
Jacks for JRB and Adelstein.
Yeah, and Adelstein's going to be in a little trouble in this hand.
He bets 8,000.
He will not survive this hand. JRB will survive longer, unless a big wave comes, knocks him back on the island.
Daniel, your seat was, that seat was so much
And
better.
here it is, the monster wall wave.
When we were drawing for seats, I squeezed. Yes,
King of diamonds.
Wait, why is it better?
Oh, so much more space.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a big guy, so.
Right, yeah. That's interesting.
JRB bets 25,000.
Turning around, and I was like,
Good check by Garrett.
Now I'm like, I feel like I'm constricted.
Will he come over the top?
Yeah, loosen up.
Right in the middle, too.
Garrett has that same expression all the time, always takes this amount of time, and the shot clock is off.
That makes you play tighter or looser?
I have no
Once
idea.
Doyle left, the shot clock left with him.
I don't know which. Probably different for different people.
There's a raise.
Here we go. He raises, I believe,
Yesterday, clearly nothing worked for me until the last 12
to
minutes.
85,000.
85.
And I think that'll be the end of JRB.
Took down Doyle Brunson's aces twice.
But you never know.
I felt bad.
I wouldn't.
JRB is trying to find a hand that Garrett could be bluffing with at this point, or drawing to. And he can't come up with one. Okay, Garrett, you got the island. It's all yours.
Garrett Adelstein is happy to take anyone's money, but when it comes to one of his competitors, it's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not even close. It was always Phil Ivey, who coincidentally I'm playing with today. You know, I think there was sort of a mystique about him that you just don't have with a few of the other sort of most well-known poker players. And I think I always, you know, every type of poker game, live, online, and everything, you know, in between. So I'm not much of a fanboy for anyone or anything, but Phil Ivey's a notable exception.
And there he is, the one and only Phil Ivey.
And it looks like we have survived all the survivor talk.
I was thinking I could have won that pot, and I was just thinking, actually, I couldn't have.
Brendan Kinney races to 3,000 with ace, queen of clubs. Here's the flop. Ooh, nice looking flop.
I would say that. He's got aces and a royal flush draw.
You're going to look.
5,000.
Yeah.
And Tilly bets 5,000.
What card would he need to make a royal flush?
Hum and haw.
Ace, queen, king, jack. Well, you get
Hum and haw and just.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
A deuce or a 10, no?
You are correct. A
There you
deuce or a
go.
10.
There you go.
That's that special hand in poker. The deuce high royal flush. Only bad thing for Bren is nobody's got too much. Garrett has a pair of jacks.
He bets 14,000.
14,000.
And we're never going to get to see if deuce of clubs is going to come out there.
I felt it coming. I was really looking forward to that.
We'll see it someday. The jack, queen, king, ace, deuce of clubs.
There you go. It's, you know. Hey, Long Island guy like me.
Well, he's not exactly like you. You sound like you come from Long Island. He sounds like a gentleman.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
He has a nice bike necklace with worth about $500,000.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
No, I don't have that yet. No, yet.
You don't have a hand on your shirt? Somebody's hand on your shirt?
No.
While I'm playing poker.
All right, so you're not that similar, you two.
I misspoke. Catching up, Tom Dwan, 9-6 of hearts. He calls for 1,000. Bryn Kinney, ace-5 of spades. He's in. And Jennifer Tilly raises to 10,000 with a pair of fours.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Why not? A pair of fours? That looks nice and juicy.
All right. Juicy fours, raised to 10,000. And Dwan with a juicy 9-6 suited throws it away. But the number 2 tournament player of all time is going to call with an ace-5 of spades. And let us see what the flop brings.
Another ace. How about that?
That's good for Bren. Jennifer's going to continue.
She bets 10,000.
On this card,
Oh, nice card for Bryn.
I was going to make a joke and say, if she catches a 4, her hand was going on the other side of that shirt.
20.
Tilly bets 20,000.
Maybe Bryn's on a club draw. Maybe he's got a hand like 9s or 10s. Bryn's a little worried. It's possible Jennifer has a bigger ace. Probably not. But he's just going to call. Let her bet on the river. If she so desires.
Okay.
Nope, she's done with it.
Got an ace.
I like
Only play in the very best spots,
You've
and that's it.
been, you've been
That's
to
what
LA
most people
recently?
Yeah.
I went last week.
Or just not play.
I played a couple games. Played
Got it.
Gardens into 5.
Oh, that's the week I was in London.
I'm decent.
Otherwise I'd
Well,
have
I'm
seen
like
you
up 13 and change.
Garden.
That's great.
You?
Yeah, I mean, I don't study, so I've kind of just been.
Study. I just watch videos.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I just play. So I've kind of been at 1,700 for like.
Oh, you're way better.
20 years though. Like I haven't gotten any better.
Wait, are we talking about your chess?
Yes,
Your
yes.
chess?
Yeah. If you don't like put in any work, you don't really get better.
For those of you who have missed the chess conversation, we haven't had any for a couple of shows. We're going to get right back into it now.
You were super high?
A long time ago.
How high is super high?
2,200.
Damn, that's
11,000.
insane.
That's sick. Yeah.
I started playing a few years ago, and I'm like 13.
You see what's happening here, AJ? Jennifer opened with a pair of kings to 3,000, and Garrett
33.
has made a move and raised to 11,000, and Jennifer is not having it with a pair of kings.
Those are my two things. Although we call it snooker.
I played snooker growing up.
4 bets to
The only time I played, I
33,000.
came to America and there was no snooker table.
Yep,
And Garrett is seriously thinking
Yeah, it's felt easy
about
this time, like
calling.
a dumb carnival game.
Right,
I
exactly.
assume he's seriously thinking, he generally takes a little time, but
Snooker is what I grew up playing.
I get the feeling that he might call.
Yeah.
Very safe. Like,
That this is not all for show.
crazy.
I Actually, I run.
You are
3
correct,
147s,
sir.
which were a big deal for me.
Okay, so my high run is 84.
84.
We're not on the same level. And I had to fluke 2 reds.
Now, if he gets something like a pair and a flush draw
But
or a straight draw, we might have real action.
day, and that's what,
Tilly flops 2 pair.
Yes, Tilly flops 2 pair, and Garrett flops 1 pair. So now Tilly has 2 pair. Garrett.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see what happens.
billiards with 3 balls billiards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I love the strategy behind, just conservative.
Yes, the 2 pair is going to bet.
35,000 from Tilly.
And the 1 pair.
Keep playing. Let's just get him out of
Now, this is not a serious look. This is a look of I'm leaving.
Get out of hooks and, slow the game down.
That makes sense.
He might throw his pair away here. He throws his pair
Throws
away.
his pair away. See, you need 2 pair, not 1 pair.
Yeah. 2 pairs better than 1
Not
pair.
going to get it done, right?
It's interesting though. Some of the greatest players in the world, like
5-3 suited on Queen Jack Jack. Even Garrett Adelstein can't make that work. Survivor, snooker. Gabe, what's next?
Skateboarding, curling, I don't know where they're going to go.
It's not a stickball crew, right? I mean, JRB looks like he can send it 2 sewers, but other than that, I don't know.
It's insane. Like,
Nobody snooker does that.
yeah, I mean, nobody.
It's just not even a thing.
Nobody thinks about those angles.
Like side pocket banks occasionally that are set up perfectly.
Yeah.
The stuff they do into the corners.
Did you ever play Efren?
3,000.
Say again?
Did you play Efren?
Once.
Jennifer raises up
We played a 5-man.
with 4 deuce suited, and Garrett comes over the top for 11,000 with a pair of 3s.
Really is.
Still playing?
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's
60s maybe, right?
mid late 60s, but
Yeah.
he had retired for a couple of years.
Yeah, I remember, I thought he was out of the game.
He's kind of playing on the circuit, but he's no longer.
Not the top dog.
Yeah.
Flop comes ace 5-8.
2 spades. Jennifer's got an inside straight draw. She needs a 3. It would be fireworks if this hand continues and she gets one.
Adelstein bets 8,000.
Jennifer says bye-bye.
Those guys are the best one-pocket players, and they're also top in every game.
Just a more interesting game to me, snooker.
It really is. The strategy behind it is so specific.
Feels like with 8-ball, 9-ball, you get, you have to finish the job.
You have
Every time you're up, you kind of almost a lot more so than snooker.
That's right,
Like in
yeah.
snooker, you might spend 15 shots in a row without even trying to make a ball.
Exactly.
You're just positioning yourself.
You play snooker, Gabe?
They used to have that on TV in England.
No, but right now on Snooker Go, they're talking about poker.
Like that. One pocket's a lot of defense. Like
That's all they talk about.
Yeah, for sure, one pocket.
Adelstein raises to 4,000 with his king 10 of spades. And here's Tom Dwan with a pair.
No, so you can make 3 kinds of points on that. You can make what's called an in-off. How much is 4,000?
All right, enough is enough.
Where
Enough.
you sink your own ball off one of the other balls. You can pot a ball.
Let's see what happens in this hand.
Jack 7-9.
JRB's got jacks.
Ball doesn't come back.
Garrett's got a double belly buster.
3 balls to play with.
And Dwan still has 8s, and Chris still has 4s.
Then you can do what's called a cannon, where you hit one ball and your ball hits the other ball.
And also, he's got more snooker talk, which I can never get enough of.
And you keep going till you can't make either a cannon.
Adelstein bets 9,000.
Keep going.
Dwan's coming along. He would love to beat Garrett. And JRB's in. He's got top pair. Dwan would make a straight with a 10. But here's a queen, which gives Garrett Adelstein the best hand known to man at this point in time. And JRB has got top 2 pair, so there's going to be some trouble in River City.
Adelstein bets $20,000.
As deliberate as ever.
We don't have shock block today?
I tried.
And Dwan passes a little comment. Remember we used to say in Brooklyn, he passed a comment?
Yeah.
He passed a comment. JRB called, and now let's see what Garrett does and how long he takes on the river here. That 3 was a safe card. JRB still has top 2 pair, and Garrett has the nuts. JRB says, do something, bro. Tom Dwan's leg is working overtime.
Ooh, 125,000, Gabe.
How much?
125,000, JRB. Insta call.
125 and call. 125 and call.
Yeah.
Garrett put JRB on the right end, made an oversized bet, aggravated him a little bit too, and won the money.
It's funny to me, Tom. You basically were somewhat responsible for an entire generation of tanking, and now you poker, do the thing. And then they thought they had to copy you to be good, and now you hate it more than anybody.
Yeah.
Daniel, in a funny way, points out Garrett's long deliberations.
One survivor takes a big bite of the other. He's not called broke living JRB for nothing. A turn straight out of nowhere turns into a big river bet out of nowhere, turns into a massive pot for Garrett Adelstein.
I don't really fake tank.
No, I know you weren't faking, but you know.
The thing I don't like is when people like
just fake.
When it's like unnecessary.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like. Especially like when it's in a spot that the pot like is really small on the river
like
or whatever. And it's like, come on, you know. Like this one on the turn, him taking a minute, that's fair. Like
What happened on
regardless
the
of
turn?
what he
I didn't
has.
see.
Tilly raised to 3,000 with her king jack offsuit.
The flop was
And
far
Blanc
away.
calls with queen 10 suited.
Then he bet and 2 people called. Like you potentially have some tougher spots and stuff, you know. When it goes like check down flop, heads
A
up,
10 for
kings
JRB.
on the turn before betting. It's like, come on, man. Like,
And Jen bets 4 grand.
Insta call from JRB. Daniel was right. It used to aggravate the other players when Dwan took too much time, and now it aggravates him when someone takes too much time.
8,000.
Tilly bets 8,000.
Call.
JRB calls.
Content to call. She bets again. I think he'll be content to call again.
plus, like, I feel like people take.
She bets
more
15,000.
the more they're on the same level as the other players. To me, that's really backwards.
What do you got, Jen? Oh, I can beat that.
Like, if everyone's really studied on a game, there's less tanking and stuff that's necessary because people ranges and stuff are more defined. But then they
JRB is far from a novice at the table. He told us about the progression of his game since he first started playing.
I didn't fall in love with the game of poker until my late 20s. I didn't know anything about the game, just played some mixed games. And actually, the first 5 years I played cards, I never touched any big bet games. And was very excited when I started playing big bet in 2004, 2005. Just that whole concept that you can lose all your chips in one hand.
Minute.
Baked, right?
Yeah, and light.
Like you could make them yourself.
Exactly.
In your basement.
Like, here's your Crayola cards.
You gonna do Javier's, Tom?
That's the only thing.
Seems like it's the only game in
I'll
town.
order 2 then, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might too.
Maybe I won't order the same thing now.
Make it easier. You are or you aren't?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm
I had it for
Tilly's going to raise to 3,000 with her ace-9 offsuit.
You should get their off-menu item, shrimp
And
diablo.
Dwan's going to call with his ace-8 of
The
hearts.
super spicy shrimp that they have, so good.
And super spicy shrimp has been brought up. As the ace hits both of them, but Jennifer's got top 2 pair. And she splashed around a lot in this game, so Tom's coming
You
along.
checked out the food court.
And she bets 3,000.
Food court at the Resort World.
I've never been.
No, but I heard it's really interesting and unique. Like, but you can't do any subs. Like, if you want, oh, you're like, can I add white rice?
No, no,
Nope.
no.
We can't do that.
Chili
Don't
bets
sell like that.
10,000.
What they did is they went to Singapore to that famous food court.
And like the last hand with JRB, when
and they convinced
Jennifer
the owners
bet,
to
he
open
just
a
called. I
new
think
branch
Tom's going to have the same
inside the
strategy.
So it's 5 or 8 of the most famous food stalls there.
Be unfortunate if he catches an 8.
Right, but I heard like
He
some people
doesn't.
say, like I said, it's a little rigid.
So I think it's going to be a check, bet, call.
Because what they want to do is they want to keep the.
Unless she bets too much.
Let's see.
So they've
She
kept
bet
it.
17,000.
It's because the food itself is pretty amazing.
Don't think Tom can get away from this.
Like, I want a side of this with a little extra of that, 20% of this, but make sure you take that off and add this.
No, they wouldn't do any of that. They wouldn't
They're
do
like,
any.
bro, this is it.
They have a.
Eat it if you like.
There's a place. They have a place there that serves Peking duck burritos and tacos that literally just is insane. Right? That's what I'm talking
People
about.
like playing there. I
Food
heard.
sampling.
Yeah.
At,
Really
food
nice
court
place to
there for
play.
Sure.
Yeah.
Chris likes to play all different games and eat, as Dwan calls.
Everyone I said, they said the staff is really nice, the dealers are great, everything's really nice in there.
Yeah, the best place to play there is they have
Study
private
long,
games that they
study
organize in
wrong.
the salon, which
What do
is
they say if
study
you study short and get it wrong? Think about it during the break, Gabe, okay?
I'm into it.
A perfect poker day for me, I think, is a combination of having a really juicy game with people who love a lot of action. I just love action play. I tend to nap and nits all the time, but having a half PLO, half Hold'em big action game that starts in the middle of the afternoon, so that I can actually go to bed early. With some good food.
How come we don't get a great masseuse in the booth?
Yeah, we got to talk to our producer, Maury. This is not right. Chris Menon raises to 3,000 with Big Slick. Tom Dwan calls.
Jennifer's there.
There's a good-looking ace on the flop.
Not good looking for Jennifer because gives her top pair, and Chris has got top pair, top kicker.
He bets 5,000.
About 5,000.
Jen calls.
Dwan's got deuces. He might take a shot for 5,000.
Yeah, why not? There you go.
Nothing has changed.
Chris is going to bet 12,000.
Jennifer's going to call. And Tom Dwan says bye-bye.
4 clubs on the river.
Makes a possible wheel with a 5. Don't think Chris is going to be too concerned with that.
That's 17,000.
That's a reasonable 17,000.
It's just so difficult. It's always hard, always rough.
Garrett absorbing everything that's happening.
Tilly calls.
There's him.
That'll do it.
Did she text you that time or no?
She actually did.
Yes, there you go. So it's not just like aces to start, it's aces on the flop.
Yeah.
I should have her text me.
Starting to think it's just a running convo.
Yeah.
One of those back for now.
I assume they're talking about Chris's wife, or maybe it's his masseuse.
I was just hoping your kicker wasn't bigger than mine, but it was. Can't get much better than that for kicker.
And now, you're supposed to be right on top of this.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What does she have?
Do not disturb.
Bullets.
Bullets. And how much does she bet?
She You sit around, I listen to you, I glom off of you, and here I am.
And now Daniel has made it 10,000. Juan is thinking, should I come in with Jack 9 suited? He's in for a surprise when he gets back to Jennifer. I think Jennifer's trying to act like she's steaming from the last hand. This is very good. She's acting angry.
Well, she 4-bets to $61,000.
But that's going to lose everybody.
A little too rich.
A little too rich. Maybe 31.
No, he wants to know what the flop would have been.
34. Let's see the flop. No, the right price was just a call. There would have been some action if she called.
What? For
Gooder.
me?
Yeah.
Well, the flop is alternative reality because everybody folds themselves.
Jennifer giving away zero information.
The flop is alternative reality? That's a Phil Lockism if I ever heard one. I kind of like it. Welcome back to Aria Resort and Casino in our high-stakes suite. Huge game here at the PokerGO studio.
That's the new trend, by the way, home party trend, teppanyaki. They have teppanyaki chefs now that it's the big new thing that's happening on Instagram.
They can bring the barbecue bit?
They bring the whole thing, and they set up tables for you. It's a whole setup thing.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Like a rich people.
I'm going to do that at my house, but they do it in L.A. I've got to figure out how to do it here.
I'll send you.
What's teppanyaki?
I'll send you the company.
It's like a glorified Benihana. They come to the table and prepare you food right in front of you. Big show.
Life just got more expensive.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
How come we don't have that? We should get a teppanyaki.
I agree.
Whole crew here on Stakes Poker get a big teppanyaki party.
I love teppanyaki.
Meanwhile, Tilly is raised to 3,000 with a rate 7 of hearts. Negreanu 3-bets to 10 grand with his 7-5 of diamonds.
All you're into is poker. I want to talk teppanyaki. I want to know more about teppanyaki. The same thing. Someone has this, someone has that. He bets, he raises.
Queen, deuce, jack.
Oh, you take over. Who's got what?
What do we got? We got not a lot of
nothing.
Not a lot of nothing's going on.
5 is still the best hand.
Okay.
And there's another one. In case that wasn't enough, we'll give you another 5.
Well, Menin's going to bet 13,000.
Hope somebody makes a move. Is it Mr. Daniel Negreanu? He's got a 5 also. And it looks like he's considering this.
And he calls.
That's right. He put in the money. That means he calls.
Ace on the river.
It's going to be hard to get Trish to get any more money out of Daniel, but he's going to try.
He bet 17,000.
He's going to try. But Daniel does not like that ace. And Garrett is not involved in this hand at all. Not watching, not studying, not doing anything. Completely lost interest in this hand. Daniel's saying, I could beat 9-10, that's about it.
And then that one in Malibu is...
Garrett's getting tired of people tanking, taking too long.
I'm usually never sure, but when you put 2 5s out, I said that's a sign.
Oh my God.
Nice. Well, how did you put 2 5s out? Who put 2 5s out?
He put out 2 5s. That's the only reason I called. He put out 2 5s. I'm like, there's 3 of us. We're all putting in 2 5s in. I'm gonna get a.
I see signs everywhere. Your girlfriend calls. It's a sign. He puts out
And
2
that
5s.
music is a sign that Teppanyaki is on its way for me and Gabe. A look at the dollar signs at the table brought to you by Poker King. Garrett with almost $600,000 in front of him. JRB trying to bounce back from giving a big part of the stack to Garrett.
You go to college, Phil?
No. What is that thing? That looks like a Chinese.
It's a chip purse. Chip purse. It works. It's perfect because it fits
you
exactly
put a chip purse. Oh, that's
exactly 20 chips in there.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Looks like it would hold 5.
Yeah. It'll hold this.
You put
It's
the
literally,
purple-
that's what it is the chip purse?
Yeah.
It was, somebody made those.
Well,
That's a change
they're
purse.
purses, but they just happen to work perfectly for chips.
Okay, so they're not designed specifically
No,
for
no.
chips, but they happen to
They're
work.
designed for tiny little.
That'd be a
Asian
really small demographic. You're aiming a product right?
High stakes
Yeah.
poker player.
Yeah. There's like 15 people that would have one.
An embroidered chip purse.
Yeah.
Now that's an interesting conversation. A nice chip purse
You
conversation.
know how at Chipotle they have those bags that say chips in, and they put the
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Phil empties them out, and then he puts all his chips in it and tapes it together. So
Perfect.
I guess if someone robbed the house, they'd know where to look.
JRB with crabs raises to 2,500.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy how the 2-5 things worked.
Bryn Kinney's aboard.
I'm gonna hit the third 5.
Chris didn't see a sign anywhere, so he threw his hand away.
So interesting. So if I folded, you would not have hit that third time.
I probably won't.
If you know what?
There's a queen for Bryn Kinney.
If I folded,
Queen for Bryn Kinney,
you would have taken a
a
stab.
5.
Which makes sense
Yeah.
because the only
JRB
way I'm gonna hit
bets
the third
6,000.
5 is if the third color helps.
Yep.
Bryn is in.
And I think this is going to bring Garrett.
Four on the turn.
A 4.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Gives Bryn 2 pair, gives everybody else a straight draw, but everybody checks.
10 on the river.
Garrett is taking some more time. But he's going to do something with that time now. He's going to try, and
40,000.
you can't possibly think he has the best hand.
Well, you bet 40,000.
Bryn has been playing pretty close to the vest. I guess putting a Bryn on a queen with a bad kicker, but Bryn's got 2 pair. He's going to call instantly.
I have a 5.
Misread by Garrett. That check on the turn.
Sick check on the turn there, sir. What in the world are you doing?
Letting the man bluff.
He's Bryn Kinney.
Trying to get a bluff or not get stacked by a straight.
Those necklaces don't come cheap.
Next time on High Stakes Poker.
Guys, bad news.
Sean Robert Ballon makes an announcement.
I'm stuck less than 170. No longer tilted.
Then ask some questions.
Can you just let me know? Was that a value bet or a bluff? I'm like,
That was a value bet.
and your tank, was that because you were considering raising?
It's a value tank.
Then he mumbles after Daniel and Garrett play the biggest pot of the season.
Show me the nuts.